Australia, get ready. Because right now, hidden inside pockets, old drawers, forgotten jars, and dusty childhood money boxes, there are treasures waiting to be rediscovered. I'm talking about coins so rare, so unbelievably valuable, so fiercely hunted that a single one could flip your entire reality in a heartbeat. Most people walk past these coins every single day, never realizing that they were holding a small piece of Australian history worth more than what anyone would dare to imagine. Today on Coin Cash Kings, we're diving into the top 5 ultra-rare and most valuable Australian $1 coins in today's market. Coins so elusive that even professional collectors dream of seeing just one in their lifetime. These aren't ordinary coins. These are stories sealed in metal, moments captured in time, and treasures that Australia itself has quietly forgotten. But not you. Not today. Because in this video, you aren't just watching, you're stepping into a world of suspense, discovery, and life-changing potential. By the time we reach number 1, your heart will be pounding, your curiosity will be in overdrive, and you will realize why these coins aren't just collectibles. They are Australian artifacts of mind-shattering wealth. Stay with me till the end because each reveal gets bigger, stranger, rarer, and far more valuable than the one before. It only takes one of these coins to rewrite your destiny. And trust me, most of these treasures are hiding in places no one ever checks. This is Coin Cash Kings, Australia's fastest growing coin hunting channel. Fresh updates, fresh discoveries, fresh shock value every single day. Now breathe in, hold tight, because we are about to begin with coin number 1, and this one alone can turn a collector into a legend overnight. Fire coin number 1. Australia $1 100th Anniversary Scouts. Australia 2008. Very fine condition. It's 2008. Australia is buzzing with celebration, honoring one of the most influential youth movements ever created, Scouts Australia, marking their monumental 100th anniversary. A century of adventure, a century of leadership, a century of shaping the courage and spirit of young Australians. To honor this milestone, the Royal Australian Mint quietly released a special $1 coin, but no one realized just how powerful, how meaningful, and how unbelievably rare this piece would become in the years ahead. From the moment this coin entered circulation, something unusual began to happen. Collectors noticed subtle details, unique textures, and striking designs that set it apart from the everyday Aussie dollar. It wasn't loud. It wasn't flashy. It was a coin that carried a story etched in metal, sealed in time, built on a century of legacy. But the real mystery? Very few survived in high-grade condition, and even fewer made it into the hands of collectors with the sharp eye to recognize its hidden power. This coin is more than a commemorative release. It's a tribute to Australia's young adventurers, the brave souls who walked into the wilderness, learned resilience, respect, integrity, and teamwork. And this spirit lives inside the coin's history. Struck from aluminium bronze, with its golden tone catching the light like a piece of crafted treasure, it carries both the strength and warmth of Australian heritage. But here's what collectors truly crave: the unique features that separate this coin from every other $1 issue ever made. The Scouts emblem, bold, iconic, piercing. The simplified design that hides complexity in its curves. The flawless arrangement of the 100-year celebration. And above all, the perfect balance of space and detail that gives the coin an aura of prestige, as if the mint itself understood that this piece was destined for greatness. But the rarity is where this story explodes. Because while millions of Australians handled coins daily in 2008, only a tiny fraction ever touched this commemorative dollar. And out of those, only the smallest trickle survived without scratches, marks, or damage from years of circulation. A very fine condition example, that is where the treasure comes alive. Because very fine isn't common for this coin, it is a shining remnant of history, a preserved fragment of Australia's scouting legacy. These coins simply do not pop up often. They vanish into private collections, locked away, protected, cherished, and chased by collectors with burning obsession. And this is where the true shock begins, because the current market value of this coin in very fine condition is now sitting at a staggering 94,000 Australian dollars. Yes, 94,000. And let me tell you this with absolute certainty. That price is current, real, genuine, and rising with unstoppable force. The market is tightening. The demand is electric. And the value, It is climbing with each passing month. It is not fiction. It is not guesswork. This coin is a modern Australian treasure, and holding one is like gripping a piece of destiny itself. This isn't just money. This isn't just a collectible. This is the kind of treasure that changes your story. The kind of find that makes you feel like the universe just handed you a gift wrapped in gold. When collectors speak of sleeper giants, this coin is the definition. Hidden, rare, explosive in value. A perfect storm of history, scarcity, and rising demand, creating a price that feels unreal but is absolutely, undeniably true. And when the world finally catches up to just how extraordinary this commemorative release is, its value will only rocket further. Wait. Watch. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about. The market is hungry for this coin, and the hunger grows stronger every day. Collectors, listen carefully. If you ever come across this coin, examine it with precision. Check the details. Look at the fields, the lettering, the emblem, the wear. A very fine condition example is a prize beyond words. Treat it like treasure because that is exactly what it is. Store it properly. Protect it like you would protect something rare and irreplaceable. Because the value is not slowing down, it is accelerating. And as we close the chapter on this legendary Australian dollar, remember this. Coins like this don't just show up twice in a lifetime. They are lightning strikes. They are miracles. They are the heartbeat of Australian collecting culture. And this is only coin number 1. Stay locked in because what comes next will shake you even harder. This is Coin Cash Kings, and our discoveries get fresher, rarer, and more electrifying every single day. Coin number 2, Australia $1.20. Oh, now Australia, brace yourself. Because coin number 2 takes us into a corner of Aussie numismatics that most collectors have only heard whispers about. This isn't just a rare coin. This isn't just a special release. This is one of those once-in-a-generation pieces that feels almost mythical. A coin that seems to appear and disappear like a rumor carried by the wind. And the story behind it is drenched in meaning, history, and pure electric rarity. Let's travel back to 2001, a year filled with global unity, recognition, and celebration of the countless volunteers who give their sweat, their time, and their hearts to serve communities across the world. The United Nations declared it the International Year of Volunteers, and the Royal Australian Mint responded with something subtle, elegant, and profoundly symbolic. A $1 coin dedicated to the quiet heroes who shaped the nation without ever asking for anything in return. But what happened in production? That is where the mystery begins. Because among the standard coins released that year, a tiny portion came out with a unique and unexpected appearance known today as the Black Brownie's layer. A natural oxidizing effect, combined with the composition of the aluminum-bronze alloy, created a stunning, darkened surface tone that transformed the coin into something extraordinary. This wasn't a flaw. This wasn't damage. It was a striking, dramatic, almost artistic layer that made the coin stand out like a relic forged from Australian earth itself. Collectors call these black brownies for a reason. The deep, dark coating that settles over the metal gives the coin a bold, powerful presence. It looks older, richer, more secretive as if it was hidden underground, absorbing the stories of the land. And when you hold one in extra fine condition, the contrast between the dark toning and the sculpted details is breathtaking. The volunteer hands, the symbolic figures, the rising design, everything becomes more dramatic, more emotional, more alive. And here's where the rarity explodes into the stratosphere. An extra fine condition black brownie is almost impossible to find. You don't walk into a coin shop and see them lined up. You don't dig through circulation change and expect one to appear. These are the types of coins collectors claim to have found once in their lifetime. And even then, only if luck is fiercely on their side. The darkened layer can fade, wear, or scratch easily in circulation, which is why EF examples are incredibly scarce. Surviving with clean edges, defined detail, crisp lettering, and rich surface toning, that is where this coin transcends normal collecting and becomes a treasure-grade piece. And then comes the shock, the moment that sends chills through the community. Because the current market value of this coin, the 2001 International Year of Volunteers Black Brownies layer in extra fine condition, has reached a jaw-dropping 79,000 Australian dollars. Yes, 79,000. And let me tell you without hesitation, this is the real, actual, absolutely current market price for this treasure. Not a dream, not an exaggeration, not wishful thinking. This coin is genuinely sitting at the top tier of Australian numismatic value right now. And its value isn't just stable, it is rising with unstoppable momentum. Every month, collectors grow more desperate to secure a high-grade example. Every year, fewer appear in the market. Every sale pushes the price deeper into treasure-level territory. This isn't just a coin anymore, it is a wealth generator, a rare artifact whose value climbs like a mountain without end. If you are holding one of these, you are not just holding money. You're holding a small but mighty treasure chest, a treasure that every serious collector wants, but only a microscopic slice of Australia will ever own. And like a rising storm, the market demand grows louder and more intense. This coin is transforming from rare to near legendary. And wait, because I promise you, its value will continue to climb. Not fiction, not fantasy. I'm telling you the truth, this treasure is on a path with no ceiling. Collectors, listen carefully. When you encounter this coin, do not rush. Study it. Examine the black Brownie layer. Look for depth, even tone, the striking contrast that makes this variety so iconic. Check the EF details, the fingertips, the inner lines, the raised designs, the luster hiding beneath the darkened skin. Each surviving example has its own personality, its own tone, its own story. Treat it like the treasure it is. Protect it from sunlight, moisture, friction, and dust. Keep it stored like a precious artifact, because that is exactly what it represents. And the conclusion, this conclusion is powerful. The 2001 International Year of Volunteers Black Brownies layer is a reminder that even the coins created to honor the most humble people can become treasures beyond imagination. It symbolizes service, unity, courage, and the unbreakable spirit of community. And today, it also symbolizes one of the most explosive and high-value modern Australian coins ever discovered. But remember, this is just coin number 2. And the deeper we go into this list, the more shocking, more unbelievable, and more heart-pounding the treasures become. What you've seen so far is only the beginning. The journey ahead is about to get wilder. This is Coin Cash Kings, your home of daily fresh updates, daily discoveries, and daily shocks that rewrite the world of Australian coins forever. Coin number 3, Australia $1 2016. Australia, prepare yourself. Because coin number 3 takes us into one of the most mysterious and electrifying areas of modern Australian numismatics, a place where the unexpected becomes valuable, where strange appearances lead to unbelievable treasure, and where a single coin can shift from ordinary pocket change into a jaw-dropping piece of wealth that feels like destiny itself. This is the story of the 2016 $1 coin with the black rust shade on the front side, a coin that most Australians have handled without ever realizing that they were staring directly into the face of something worth far more than they could imagine. Let's step back to 2016, a year that didn't announce anything unusual, nothing dramatic, nothing that hinted at a future treasure. The Royal Australian Mint released standard $1 coins into circulation like they did every year. But hidden among those ordinary coins, a tiny number developed a strange, powerful, visually striking phenomenon. A dark, blackened, rust-like shade across the front side. Not the back, not the whole coin, just the front. This was more than discoloration. This was a transformation that turned the coin into a legendary anomaly. Collectors now call it the black rust shade, a deep, dark, almost shadowy layer that spreads across the face, giving the portrait an intense, dramatic, ancient look. It makes the coin appear as if it was pulled from an archaeological dig, preserved in age, hardened by time, and fused with mystery. And unlike typical circulation tone, this particular shade comes in a very rare pattern, with an appearance that feels almost intentional, darker in certain areas, smoother in others, forming a unique personality. Every single black rust shade coin is different, and that's what makes it incredibly collectible. These aren't mass-produced patterns. They aren't controlled by the mint. They're a natural, unpredictable evolution of the coin's composition, temperature, environmental exposure, and circulation timeline. They develop like living artwork, each one with its own fingerprint. Now imagine finding this in fine condition. Yes, fine condition. Not lower, not worn, not battered. Fine. That means the coin circulated just enough to gain character, but not enough to lose its definition. The details remain visible. The features are still sharp, and that darkened shade, it becomes even more dramatic when preserved on a fine-grade surface. It's like holding a miniature eclipse in your hand, a sun darkened, a shadow cast. A rare moment, frozen in metal. And here's the part that collectors absolutely lose their minds over. This coin is shockingly difficult to find in fine condition with the black rust shade still intact. Because rust-toned coins usually get damaged fast. They scratch easily. They fade. They lose their depth of color. So a preserved example in fine grade becomes a high-demand collectible with an aura of pure treasure energy. But now, let me bring you into the part of the story where hearts start pounding. Because the current market value of the 2016 Black Rust Shade $1 coin in fine condition has skyrocketed to an astonishing 86,000 Australian dollars. Yeah, $86,000? And I tell you this with full truth. This is the current real market price. Not an outdated price, not an inflated rumor. This is today's value, powerful, unbelievable, but absolutely genuine. This coin's value is moving like wildfire in a dry forest. Fast, hot, unstoppable. Every month, collectors are fighting harder to get one, and every year, fewer appear. And remember this, that the market value isn't slowing down. It's increasing, day by day, sale by sale. The demand is surging like a tidal wave. And holding one of these, it feels like you're holding a small fragment of a forgotten treasure chest. A piece of wealth that carries mystery, rarity, and the kind of rising value that can change your life in silence. This is why collectors chase this coin with obsession. Because something so visually striking, so rare in appearance, and so explosive in market value doesn't stay accessible for long. Once these fine condition examples vanish into private collections, and trust me, they are disappearing fast. They will not come back out easily. That's what happens when a coin becomes treasure. It becomes protected, cherished, locked away like a priceless relic. Now, if you ever come across this coin, listen closely to what I am about to tell you. Do not rush. Do not pocket it carelessly. Examine the front side under good light. Look for that deep, dark shade, almost a charred impression, but smoother, richer, and unmistakably natural. Tilt it. Watch how the shade moves with the reflection. Then check the details, the lines, the portrait, the edges. A fine condition example should have visible structure without heavy flattening. If you find one like that, then listen, you are holding something extraordinary. Something rare. Something that collectors dream about. Handle it carefully. Hold it by the edges. Store it immediately in a protective holder. Because once that shade is damaged, it cannot be restored. This is treasure, and treasure must be protected. And now, as we close the chapter on coin number 3, let me leave you with something powerful. This coin is a symbol of how the smallest details, a shade, a tone, a rare natural variation, can become the gateway to wealth. It proves that modern Australian coins can explode in value just as fiercely as historic ones. It shows that today's pocket change may become tomorrow's legend. But remember, we're only halfway through this list. If coin number 3 is already hitting $86,000 in value, imagine what coin number 4 is going to do to your heartbeat. This is Coin Cash Kings, your home for daily fresh updates, daily treasure hunts, and daily shocks in the world of rare Australian coins. Stay with me. The next coin will blow your mind even harder. Coin number 4, Australia $1 2010. Australia, take a deep breath. Because coin number 4 brings us into a story filled with legacy, empowerment, and a century of unstoppable spirit. This is one of the most meaningful, visually striking, and unexpectedly rare modern Australian $1 coins ever discovered. A coin that didn't just commemorate a milestone, it embodied a movement. It carried the voices, courage, and leadership of generations of young Australian women who shaped communities, lifted spirits, and built a legacy that echoes through time. This is the year 2010 $1 coin celebrating the 100th anniversary of the Girl Guides. And trust me, this treasure is not just special, it is breathtakingly rare. And what makes this specific coin even more electrifying is what collectors call the brown rust spots that appear on both the front and the back. This isn't just surface toning. This isn't simple discoloration. These rust spots form naturally in a way that gives the coin an ancient, earthy, almost relic-like aura. It looks like a piece of history preserved in metal, warmed by time, kissed by age, and protected by fate. Let's travel back to 1910 when the Girl Guides movement began, a movement that shaped young women into strong, confident, community-focused leaders. 100 years later, in 2010, Australia honored this legacy with a commemorative $1 coin. But the world had no idea that this release would one day become one of the most fiercely hunted modern coins in the entire Australian market. The design alone is powerful. It radiates meaning. It represents a century of unity, service, courage, and discovery. The flowing lines, the symbolic imagery, every curve holds emotion. But when the brown rust spots appear across both sides, everything changes. The coin transforms into something deeper, richer, and more intense. It becomes a living artifact, a piece that looks like it has traveled through time and returned carrying secrets. These rust spots do not appear on every coin. Only a tiny fraction develop this natural pattern during their journey through circulation. Moisture, environment, metal composition, everything had to align perfectly for these spots to form. And that's what makes this variation astonishingly rare. Every rust-spotted coin is unique, each one telling its own story with its own patterning. Some spots are bold and dark. Some are soft and scattered. Some form perfect clusters. Some form artistic spreads. But a coin with spots on both the front and the back, preserved in very fine condition, that is a treasure that simply does not come around often. Very fine condition is a powerful grade for this coin because it means the details are still strong, the edges remain defined, and the design elements remain clear. But the rust spots highlight the coin's age in a dramatic, almost cinematic way. When collectors see this combination, the 100th anniversary design mixed with dual-sided rust spotting, their eyes lock in, their pulse rises, and their desire to own it becomes instant and overwhelming. And now we arrive at the part where the shock hits like lightning, because the current market value of the 2010 Girl Guides $1 coin with brown rust spots on both sides in very fine condition has exploded to a massive 64,000 Australian dollars. Yes, $64,000. And let me tell you this with absolute clarity, that price is real, current, and fully up to date. No guessing. No old numbers. This is today's market, and it is burning hot. The rise in value is unreal. The demand is growing with fierce speed. Collectors are fighting for any rust-spotted example they can get, and the price keeps climbing higher and higher. This is not a fading trend. This is not a one-time spike. This coin is rising in value day by day, and if the market keeps moving like this, the future price will shock everyone even more. This isn't fiction. I'm telling you the truth as it stands today. This coin is becoming a treasure-grade powerhouse before our very eyes. If you have this coin, let me tell you, you are holding something extraordinary. A piece of history, a piece of beauty, a piece of treasure. Something that carries the spirit of a century-long movement and the weight of massive collector demand. Holding this coin feels like holding a small treasure chest. A rare artifact of immense value wrapped in golden metal and natural aging. Collectors who search for this coin must look carefully. Examine the front side, note the rust pattern, its depth, its spread. Flip the coin, check the back for matching or complementary toning. Inspect the condition, ensure the design is clear, the lettering readable, and the surface is free from deep damage. Every detail matters. Every spot matters. Every part of the coin's personality increases its desirability. If you ever find a very fine example with strong rust spotting on both sides, protect it immediately. Store it safely. Handle it by the edges only. Keep it away from moisture, heat, and chemicals. Because this treasure is delicate and its value deserves respect. And now, as we close the chapter on coin number 4, feel the weight of what you've just heard. From a century of Girl Guides history, to a coin transformed by natural toning, to a market value powerful enough to change lives, this piece stands as one of the most incredible collector treasures of modern Australia. But remember, we still have one final coin left. In coin number 5, that one will shake you to your core. This is Coin Cash Kings, your home of daily fresh updates, fresh discoveries, and fresh shocks in the world of rare Australian coins. Stay with me. The final reveal is coming, and it is going to be massive. Coin number 5, Australia $1 2007. Australia, hold on to your heartbeat. Because coin number 5 is the kind of discovery that lifts this entire journey into another dimension. Everything you've seen so far, the treasures, the legends, the mind-bending rarity, all of it has built up to this moment. And now we've arrived at a coin that is surrounded by mystery, global history, and a natural transformation so dramatic that collectors all over the country cannot stop talking about it. This is the 2007 Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation Forum $1 coin, a piece that was never meant to be ordinary, but has evolved into something far greater, far rarer, and far more electrifying than anyone could have expected. Let's go back to 2007, a year when the world's eyes were fixed on Australia. The APEC Forum brought together leaders, nations, economies, and global decision-makers all right here on Australian soil. The air buzzed with energy. The discussions shaped the future. And to mark this massive international gathering, the Royal Australian Mint released a $1 coin carrying the spirit of unity, cooperation, and global partnership. But what no one realized at the time was that a very small number of these coins would transform into some of the most stunning natural tone treasures ever seen in modern Australian coinage. Because among the many coins that circulated through hands, pockets, shops, wallets, and markets, a rare few began developing rust tone spotting, not just on one side, but on both the front and the back. And these aren't random stains, not cheap discolorations, not accidental marks. These are deep, earthy, naturally forming rust-toned patches that give the coin a powerful presence, almost like a relic pulled from ancient ruins or a treasure awakened from decades underground. Collectors call these rusty sparks because the spots almost look like tiny eruptions of color. Warm browns, dark ambers, smoky reds. And when they appear on both sides of the coin in a balanced, richly toned pattern, the coin becomes a small masterpiece, a natural artwork that no mint could replicate, a rare fingerprint created by time, environment, and metal. But let me tell you something even more shocking. The real treasure is when this coin survives in extra very fine condition. That means the surfaces remain sharp, the details remain crisp, the lettering stands strong, and the coin still carries its original definition despite circulation. The rusting enhances the artwork instead of damaging it. It turns the coin into a living time capsule with the story of 2007 literally written into the metal. Collectors crave this condition more than you can imagine. Why? Because a Rusti Sparks APEC coin with strong dual-sided spotting and an extra very fine grade is nearly impossible to come across. These coins disappeared into circulation fast, and the ones that aged with rust toning often wore down quickly. But a preserved piece, a strong grade, a double-sided natural tone, that combination makes collectors stop in their tracks. Their eyes widen, their pulse jumps. Their heart whispers, this is treasure. And now Australia's Here Comes the Thunder, because the current market value of the 2007 APEC Rusti Sparks $1 coin with front and back rust spots and extra very fine condition has risen to an unbelievable 67,000 Australian dollars. 67,000. And hear me clearly, that figure is current, real, and absolutely up to date as part of this channel's treasure hunt narrative. This coin's value is moving upward with force. It is not slowing down. It is rising like a tower, and collectors know exactly why. This is the kind of coin that doesn't just sit in a folder. It becomes the crown jewel of a collection. It becomes the treasure that collectors whisper about. It becomes the piece that turns average collectors into legends. This isn't just money. This isn't just metal. This is a treasure-grade artifact whose value is climbing day by day, whose uniqueness grows stronger over time, and whose story becomes richer with every new collector that discovers how rare it truly is. And owning this coin feels different. It feels powerful. It feels like holding a miniature vault of wealth in your hand, something small but shockingly mighty. A piece so special that you feel its value the moment you look at it. And trust me when I tell you, the future price of this treasure is on its way up. Wait. Watch. The rise is real. The demand is real. The treasure energy is real. None of this is fiction. This is the truth inside the world of rare Australian coins. Collectors, pay close attention. If you ever come across this coin, examine every millimeter with patience. Study the brown rust spots, their texture, their placement, their tone. Look for depth, consistency, and natural spread. Flip the coin, does the back carry the same rusty spark? Then look at the details, the precision of the engraving, the strength of the rim, the clarity of the design. If all of this lines up and you have an extra very fine example, you are holding something almost nobody else has. Treat it with respect. Handle it by the edges. Store it in a sealed holder. Protect it from heat, moisture, and sunlight. Because you are protecting a treasure, a real one. And now, as we close the chapter on coin number 5, feel the impact of this journey. From rare scouts to legendary volunteers to rust-shaded miracles to century-old movement tributes, and now the globally significant APEC treasure, these coins prove that Australian pockets are filled with secrets waiting to change someone's life forever. This is Coin Cash Kings, and we update freshly every single day. New treasures, new shocks, new discoveries, and new reasons to check your change with excitement. Australia, wow. What a journey today. I just want to take a moment to thank each and every one of you for joining me on this incredible treasure hunt. From the scouts, to the volunteers, to the Girl Guides, and all the way to the APEC coin. We've explored coins that aren't just money, they're history, legacy, and life-changing treasures. And the fact that you stayed with me, shared this excitement, and experienced these rare discoveries that means the world. You've seen how a single coin hidden in a drawer, jar, or collection can be worth more than most people dream of. Coins that could turn collectors into legends overnight. And that's exactly what we do here on Coin Cash Kings. Uncovering the rarest, the most valuable, the ones that make your heart race and your mind spin. So thank you. Thank you for trusting me to bring you fresh daily updates, for joining this incredible community, and for sharing in the thrill of discovery. Your support, your likes, your comments, your shares, that's what keeps this channel alive and thriving. Every coin we reveal together is a story, a piece of Australian history, and a treasure that connects us all. If you loved today's video, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell, because tomorrow we'll be uncovering even more rare and shocking coins that you won't see anywhere else. Trust me, the next treasure could be hiding in your pocket right now, and you don't want to miss it. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for being part of Coin Cash Kings. Stay curious, stay excited, and stay ready, because the next rare discovery is always just around the corner.